Women need to be supporting other women. So on this edition of Intersecting Industry, I'll be sitting down with Haley Haupt from IQ Manufacturing, and we'll be taking a deep dive into why women need to support other women, especially in the industrial and manufacturing space.
Hi, how are
Haley,
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Just great. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. Let's start with, I wanted to talk to you about how you first got into the industrial manufacturing space.
Yeah, so I can definitely tell that story. You want beginning to where I am now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. In 2021, like I said, I entered the industry. COVID shut everything down, so I went to work for some acquaintances who had a small shop. I worked there for about a year, and then I decided that I wanted to move on to something a little bit different. And I got here at IQ in April of 2021, and then I have been here ever since.
And the machine shop, little CNC machine shop that you worked for before, what was the environment like there, especially as a female?
Yeah, it was small. That company had started only a few years prior, so there was maybe 4 or 5 of us there. So it was very fast paced. A lot of people were wearing a lot of different hats, but I just decided that I wanted something a little bit different, and I applied for IQ on Indeed. I got an interview on a Friday, and I got hired that Saturday. So it's been smooth rolling from there.
Oh, that was a really quick transition there.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and tell us about what you do at IQ.
Sure. So I am the director of marketing. That is my main title. I oversee, implement, and strategize all of our marketing, our social media, our graphic design. I help with the website modifications and updates as well. I also am cross-trained in a couple different departments as well. So I help in our quality department with documentation, and I do a little bit of material purchasing as well.
Okay, so you wear many hats there.
A few, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Not just marketing.
Nope.
No.
No, that's something a lot of people don't know either.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, because whenever you and I met, I was kind of surprised by all the hats that you wear whenever you were talking to me about that. Because
Mhm.
today you're all dolled up, but normally you're in a hat and jeans and a t-shirt because you're working out on the shop floor. You're doing something that's not in your marketing department.
Yeah, I'm still in jeans. You can't see it, but I
Oh,
got the
okay.
jeans and t-shirts going on. But yeah,
Just not
yeah,
the hat.
sometimes. Yep, just not the hat. I figured I'd keep the hair looking okay today.
Okay. And take us into what IQ actually does, because you're in a multitude of industries. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so IQ is a job shop. We're headquartered here in Auburn Hills, Michigan. We manufacture components for the automotive, aerospace, automation, and defense industries. We specialize in high mix, low volume work, and we've been around since 2015.
With all of that, I think you had told me you're like usually like one-offs, but sometimes you have, continued projects and
Yeah,
things
so
like that.
we do a lot of ones and twos, variety of different
Mhm.
work. It's not usually the same type of part and stuff like that, but we do have a couple production jobs on the floor as well that we do.
Because I mean, in marketing, we all have struggles. So what are some of your struggles when you're approaching your marketing strategy?
Probably, I wouldn't say that judgment bothers me. It's just like the support quotations I put around that word, the support in the industry, because it's very difficult to try and grasp what people like to see on social media and then what they don't like to see and then what people like are judging you for posting or telling you what you should and shouldn't be posting. So that's an ongoing struggle, I'd say.
Yeah, because when you and I talked, I know that you do regular posts for
Mhm.
IQ, and then for your filler stuff, when you don't have something specific, that's when you'll show your cute hats, and you'll
Yes.
you'll take a photo.
Yeah.
Um, And usually below that, it's usually a nice message about, enjoy your day, or hope you have a great week, or this is
Yeah.
what's going on at IQ. I mean, I read all that whenever I see your posts. But let's delve into that a little bit, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah. So we really want to talk about women uplifting other women and how important that is. And the reason that I am bringing this up is because, yes, you have a lot of followers that are very supportive, but you also seem to get a lot of negativity, demeaning comments. I know that about 3 months ago, you had a quote unquote stalker, if you will, that you were doing IQ&A. You had to stop doing that because of inappropriate comments. Then the person came to your business page and was making comments there. We don't need to delve too much into that. But moving forward, about 3 weeks ago, you did a post, and it really, I would say, kind of touched me, because you made the comment, why is it that when Joe down the street does a post just like what I do, they get good comments, or great job or whatever, and you don't? You get told that this is not the place for those kind of pictures, or those your selfies, and other derogatory comments. Why do you think that is? And go ahead and tell us, is it both men and women that are making these comments?
So I can't really answer the question on why they do that, because that's why I made the post. I don't understand it. There's people in this industry who are absolutely rocking it, and I support them 100%. But there's males who will post their selfies with their products, and I don't see any of the same comments that are like on my stuff. I've posted when I do IQs, or the marketing for myself, I try and wrap IQ into it so it's company related every time I post. I try to tie it into every single like photo or video that I'm posting. And then I'll sometimes do a more personal post, because I'm a person too. I like to let people know that I have families. And every time I post, like I posted a photo of my family, my mom, my dad, and my sister and I, and somebody just completely tore it apart. And I was like, I don't understand it. There's people down the street who are doing the same thing, working in the same industry, posting the same things. And it comes from both men and women. I've gotten comments before about how like people are like, oh, you only get the viewership that you get because of the way you look. And to me, that's such a negative comment, because that's not what I'm trying to do. And I hate getting those comments, and I don't know why I get them.
So, I've given some credence to this, and I thought maybe people just look at the photo and they're not reading what comes with it. Do you think that's possible?
Yes, because I will look at the comments and it'll just be like, have a great day. And it's like, it's clear to me that they didn't read the rest of the post, because it was like it's something about work. And they're just like, have a great day. Or I like your hair. Like, it's clear to me that they're not reading it, which is hurtful in a way, because I spent a lot of time on creating that post.
And so part of marketing now is storytelling, right? And so, I mean, this is all the rage. This is all the talk. People want to hear a story. Part of storytelling is to share about your business. It's to share about you. It's to promote yourself. It's really, it puts you in a very vulnerable position, because you're putting yourself out there. You're sharing yourself. You're sharing your life. Why? Because we're told everybody wants to hear a story. And so I think that it is, it may not be everybody's bag to see Haley in a hat sharing her story. But I think it's important that people understand that behind that post and behind the image that you share and your life that you're sharing, that there's a real person. And those comments, you know, Haley, you are a very strong woman. Sorry. Because I know your story, you have taken a lot of bumps in the road, and you show up and you smile and you keep going. And it's hurtful, not only to you, but I think to other women, that you're having to endure this kind of attack, if you will.
Yeah, it definitely is hurtful. And I feel like from a standpoint, I've just had to like put in my head that like social media is people behind a computer who would never say that to me in person. So I
Mm-hmm.
just look at it like that and just keep going. When I get comments like that, I'll get kind of defensive. And I don't know if people see it, but sometimes I'll like snap back at them because it's like, you're not going to push me around just because I'm this young girl in an industry that you're not used to seeing women in. So I just kind of put that behind me once I see it. But I deal with a lot of that like assumptions. Like on that post you were talking about that I made 3 weeks ago, somebody was like, you're automatically going to get more crap because you don't work on a shop floor. And I was like, why are you assuming I don't work on a shop floor? Like there was 2 weeks ago, we were slammed in here and our guys needed help. And I had an urgent issue and I didn't want to bother them. So I went out there and helped them do something on the floor. I was touching the parts. I get metal chips in my hands. I'm not running the machines, but I know I can tell you right now where half our jobs are on the floor because I work with the people on the floor. I'm not just here taking a photo or a selfie 8 hours out of my day. I do other stuff as well. And those assumptions and those negative comments just are hurtful because nobody really knows what I do and they're just making a judgment call based off of one post that I make a week where it's a selfie.
And I also think that, I mean, you're a young, pretty girl. Let's just put that out there. That's a fact.
Thank you.
You are. And so, you know, young, pretty girls can be smart too. You know, just because I think you're being judged by your exterior, and people are not putting, you know, the fact that there's a brain up there. And, and like I said, I'm just going to repeat myself, pretty girls can have a brain as well. You know, so just because you're attractive does not mean that you don't have a brain. And I think that that's a misstep for people.
Yeah, I think a lot of women in this field experience that where like people just automatically look at them and they're like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I've made it a point to learn what I'm talking about so I can like break that stereotype where women don't know anything about this industry because we get
Mm-hmm.
that a lot. We get that a lot. There are a lot of us women working here who are so smart, and I've met so many individuals who are so passionate and driven in this field as a whole, and it's ridiculous to see that people don't see that. They just they're judging the book by the cover.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think? What do you think women can do? I know some of the work that you're doing for the younger generation, but let's talk about, you know, current and now, and with women now. What are some things that you think that we can do to help elevate each other?
I think it is super important to do exactly what we're doing, talking with other women in the field, connecting with other women so that we can all come together and bring the younger generation here. Because I feel like the comments that we get on social media, the derogatory comments, those young girls or young adults are going to see that and be like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with that. You have to have thick skin to like deal with some of that stuff. And I feel like that's deterring a lot of young girls from coming here. I feel like just having that group of women, which I thankfully have found in this industry, that group of women who can mentor you and help guide you and let you see that like there's more for women in this field than people let on.
There's absolutely more, so much more.
Yes.
So much more. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And let's talk about what you're doing to help influence the younger generation into coming into the industrial manufacturing space.
Yeah, so with the social media, I'm on Instagram and the company's on TikTok. So I'm trying to pinpoint those younger generations on the platforms that they're typically on. But I also recently, this past year in January, joined a committee. I'm the events committee chair for an organization called Women of Aerospace Industry Association of Michigan. So that's kind of a mouthful. I just call it WHAM. But what we're doing is bringing in women or young girls, grades 4 through 8, in Michigan, all across the state, and we're doing like a challenge where they can create a solution for a problem in flight. So we get to. I've been in meetings since April with Girl Scouts of Michigan, STEM boards from schools. Um, Along with the other members who are part of the committee. And it's just amazing. And being a part of this group and seeing the work that they're trying to do to get more women here and let them see the opportunities and the possibilities in STEM fields and in male dominated fields is just incredible. And I love being a part of it. I told myself at the beginning of this year that that's something I really wanted to do. And I'm so fortunate to be able to do that. And I'm grateful that IQ lets me do that as well.
And what kind of response do you get from the young girls? I mean, what is their vibe like when you are teaching them various different things?
So for the specific organization, this is my first year being a part of it. So last year I didn't have anything to do with it. But the response from the young girls that I've seen is that they get excited when they have an activity. Um, you can go in and talk to people at schools, which is absolutely great and it's something that I want to do. But when they have an activity or they see something cool on a video, they get super excited about it and they want to do it themselves and want to see what they can do and put their skills to use as well. And it's just really incredible to see that because there's a lot of young girls out there who are super smart and like don't even know that these fields or careers are available to them, and we're giving them the opportunity to see that.
And we talked a little bit about how even when you were in school, you didn't know that this field existed at all.
Nope.
And the perception of when you talk to classmates now and you tell them that you tell them what you do now, what is their response?
So I went to a very small school. I say this all the time, but my graduating high school class was 46 people. I knew everyone I went to high school with from seventh grade till 12th grade. And I'll run into some of them now, or I'm friends with some of them on social media, and they'll message me and be like, I did not see you going into an industry like this. Because when I was in my senior year of high school, I got best dressed. I wore dresses all the time. My hair was curled. I was super girly, which I still can be, obviously, but they were like, this is the field you went into, you work in a machine shop, like what they get so confused, and I'm like, I love it, I love being here, I love being out on the shop, I love seeing the the stuff we get to make. It's just amazing. So I think it's funny when they get really confused and they're like, this is what you did.
Yeah, that might be a little mind-blowing for some people.
Yeah. Definitely.
But hey, you can be cute and girly, and you can also be rugged and work out in the shop.
This is true. I was a little boyish, not boyish, but like I had some tomboyish activities when I was young. So I was like, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty or be around this stuff. So I don't like getting chips in my hands, but that's another story.
Yeah, yeah, that's just comes with the job.
This is true.
Yeah. Okay, well, so let's talk about some of your mentors because you've had some pretty influential people that have helped you along the way,
Mhm.
especially at IQ. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. The biggest mentors I have at IQ are my bosses, of course. When I came in, they were so wonderful in helping me understand things because even though I had that prior experience, I didn't really know everything. You're never going to know everything in this industry, but I still had a lot to learn. And I've dealt with like um, those people who will be like super rude if you don't know something or ask questions or like will look at you like you're stupid essentially, and they have never once done that here. None of the team members. We have two people in management positions who help me out all the time. And it's just really refreshing to work for a company with an environment where they want to push you forward and they want to help you and they want to give you all the information that you need to be able to succeed. And IQ does that for me. And I literally couldn't have found a better company to work for. I'm so grateful.
And you also told me that they have really sought out to hire more women to come into the space, correct?
Yes. We spoke at IMTS. Our COO and I spoke on a live interview at IMTS, and he said publicly that they were looking to hire more women. One of the reasons is they said women pay more attention to detail, so go us. But they want to hire more women and bring more women in and let them see that there is potential for them here. We have two here. It's me and then our CNC machinist apprentice, Anna. She's on the floor every day. So they're really pushing for that to hire more women, especially when they get resumes for them as well.
You know, I've talked to a couple of other ladies, Jessica Wilbur and Rebecca Fisher,
Mm-hmm.
and they both, you know, really talked about how important it is to work with the younger generation, to encourage, to show them that just because you came from this space doesn't mean that you can't, you know, go into the industrial space, because there's some young ladies who are still trying to figure out what they're going to do. And this is always an option. You can go from one field into industrial and take a lot of what you learned before and bring it into the industrial space. If you really have that drive, you can absolutely learn and excel in the industrial manufacturing space.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's important to note that like you can do anything you want in this field. Like you don't have to be a machinist. You can do shipping and receiving, or you can do marketing. Or I went to school, went to college for marketing and media and communications, and I was able to bring that here. And they were able to tie it into this industry in some way so that we could fit that career for me here. And I think that's important for other people to know. Like it's not the stereotype where it's a dirty industry. There's so many opportunities. There's so many careers of openings here. It's just, I think that that's a stereotype that needs to be broken.
And what do you think that, because I know that with your leadership at your job, they're very supportive, but what words of wisdom can you share with other leaders at other companies to encourage them to bring more women into the space?
I would just say be open to the idea. I think that because it's more male dominant, that they're used to having the men there. Just don't totally single them out. You know, like there is a large talent pool of people, and they are missing out on half of that talent pool because they're only hiring from one area of it. So I think like just open your eyes to it and see what other women in this industry are doing, because it could really help your companies in so many ways.
Well, that's good information to share,
Yeah.
because I think it's really important. You know, I think that like the other ladies that I've mentioned, they talked about how women think differently and how there's a different aspect that we can bring to the industry, a different way of thinking. It, not to say that women think better than men, that's not what I'm saying, but you know, we have a different thought process. And so I think when you combine the fact of, you know, the way the genders think, it just elevates things in your environment and maybe the way your processes work for business.
Yeah, I was actually going to say I watched like a video the other day about how like men's brains and women's brains work differently, which is great because in some areas of the business, I'm able to pull my way of thinking and then the guys on the shop's way of thinking. We come together and create a solution that like we wouldn't have if we weren't working together. So I definitely, it's beneficial, and I wish more people would see that as like a high point in the company.
I think the younger generation though is coming around more, and I've said this I know on another show, that it's essential to have the opposite sex around, just so that you can have that difference, and you know, and you learn from each other that way, like just like you said.
Yeah, definitely. The different personalities no matter how different they are, they can mesh in ways that like help procedures or help the way you're processing something from a company standpoint. So I definitely agree with that.
One of the other questions that I wanted to ask you that earlier on, and I failed to, is whenever you're doing your marketing,
Mhm.
what trends are you seeing? What trends are you following and pursuing in your marketing?
I've really tried to pursue more video. Like I said before, I am cross-trained in other departments, so when they need me, I go where they need me to go. But I've been really trying to push out more videos. That's a trend that got really big in the past few years. Like people love watching the videos about company growth, or just seeing like the inside of shops and stuff like that. So that's definitely a trend. Podcasts are a big one as well, and the LinkedIn Lives. So that's definitely a trend that I'm following and trying to pursue as we continue the marketing strategies here.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes along with the storytelling, right? People want
Mhm.
to, show me, don't tell me kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah, yeah. I know here at MFG, we do videos for our clients, and it really accelerates their business. It really profiles, their products, the people at their company. It tells a personal story. I think it's really important that people explore that video aspect for their companies, just because it gives more credence to what you're doing. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if it's Manufacturing Tribe that's on TikTok or if it's Kyle.
Yes to both of those.
Okay, I follow both or one or the other, and I watch the
Uh-huh,
videos all the time. Like the quick little TikTok videos, you're
uh-huh.
getting quick information out, people are watching it, it's interactive. I think more people need to jump on that, and it's something that I definitely agree is useful, especially in a marketing standpoint.
And do you do that? You do some of that, right?
The TikTok informational
No, no,
type
no,
things.
the short videos,
Oh,
just the
yes.
little
Yep.
snippets. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And do you find you get more engagement with that?
When they're the shorter videos, yes. I've realized that when it's like a 5-10 minute video, people aren't really like they lose their attention on it quickly
Uh-huh.
if it's like a slow rolling thing. So I try to do the short snippet ones, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's I just wanted to ask you about that because and then like I said, I failed. So anyway, had to get that in there because why, we all have something to share. So,
It's true.
we notice, that video makes a difference. So it's nice to know that you concur.
Yeah, definitely. And you
Yeah.
guys are rocking it over there. So
Thank you. So with that, we will close the show. And I just want to let everybody know, thank you for joining us today. If you found some value in this, please go over to our LinkedIn page or my LinkedIn page, connect with me. If you want to be a guest on the show, please send me a LinkedIn message. Go over to YouTube, like our channel. You can stay connected with us. And I will see you on the flip side.